What's goody, what's popping, and what's cracking? I want to give a review on just my experience in trucking. So far, how it feels, how's everything going, and what company I'm working for. Now, jumping off into trucking, it was kind of like a bit of a tedious process applying for different companies and trying to figure out which one would be a best possible fit, because I wasn't trying to just apply for any company and then they just teach me the basic stuff that it takes for me to be able to do the job and then that's pretty much it. I kind of wanted to find a job that was going to give me the fundamentals that I need to know in order to be successful out here on the road. So I chose Schneider. Now Snyder went through a little recruiting process, kind of not really an interview, but just kind of like a what do you know or where are you currently in your experience. And my experience was zero. So I got to start from the beginning. And they have two processes that they take you through. For inexperienced drivers, you have a 3 week training period. 2 weeks is at a operating center, and whatever operating center that's closest to you, they will fly you out in order to get you there. And then you have that last week, you'll actually be with a TE, which is a training engineer, which is a person that you're going to be in a truck with, actually going through the motions and getting some real life experience out here. Now, that your TE could either be a local driver or your TE could be an over the road driver. So you just don't know until that opportunity comes. But they're going to fly you to another state if you're out of the way, and you're going to begin your 2 week training. Every day, I went to Portland, so every day of the week, a shuttle bus came and picked us up at 6:15. They did not come back to scoop us up again if we were late. If you were late, you were late. And Snyder doesn't play any games when it comes to being late, which is understandable. You're applying to be a truck driver, and that's kind of the name of the game, is be on time. So it's understandable. But they will gladly send you home. They will send you home if you don't have all your documents. They will send you home if you woke up late, if you just not even paying attention or trying to be receptive to information that they're giving you. They will gladly send you home without hesitating, because Schneider is one of those companies that's like, we need drivers, but we just not gonna pick anybody. So if you good at paying attention, you good at listening and following instructions, Snyder is cool for you. I realize most people that don't like Snyder are experienced drivers or people that just don't really take to too much correction, or don't want a bunch of rules. And if you're inexperienced, you really don't have much of a choice. Now, I'm not gonna get all off into pay and whatnot, because I start off as an inexperienced driver, and just to truthfully be honest, what would I expect other than a low starting rate? What would I expect? So I'm not gonna get too much off into that. Plus, there's a whole bunch of different YouTube videos where people are talking about Schneider's pay. But just to humble some people real quick, you got your CDL, that's cool. You ready to jump off in the bandwagon and just start to gain your experience, that's cool. But as of now, you don't have any experience, so don't expect to be making $1.50 a mile, because you need to work yourself up to that. So get your experience first, and then worry about that paycheck later. Now, of course, you got other companies you can go to that are better than Snyder, but yeah, just humble yourself. You gotta start somewhere. So Snyder kind of gave me the rules on what to expect during training. They told me that I was going to be in a hotel room for 2 weeks, and I was 9 times out of 10 going to be in a hotel room with somebody. That's the part I didn't necessarily care for. Now, this is where I mentioned the blessing part. My experience with Snyder was a blessing. I know everybody can't say that, but it was a blessing in numerous ways because I don't really feel comfortable being in a room, especially for 2 weeks, with a complete stranger while I'm starting a new job. There's a lot of different things going on, and the last thing I want to do is come home or come to the hotel room after a rough day of training, and then I gotta be in the vicinity of somebody else. Now I ain't got no like anger issues and nothing like that, but it's just like comfortability. Like some people are inconsiderate, some people are just like I don't want to say anything hurtful, but some people don't know how to live with another person, and I don't want to just be stuck with any random person that I gotta stay with in the room for 2 weeks. So I was praying and I was asking God, God, please give me my own hotel room for 2 weeks. And the one thing I started to do is kind of like not just pray it, but like I'm gonna get my hotel room. I'm gonna get a hotel room all by myself for 2 weeks. And I got there. I spoke with one of the ladies at the receptionist like desk, and she was not in charge of the Snyder drivers, so she didn't necessarily know what room to put me in. And this is where I was like, yes, like something's about to happen. I'm about to get my own room. And she put me in a whole nother room on the other side of the hotel. But then a lady came in later on, probably about an hour or so later, and she actually called in the hotel room and was like, I'm sorry about what happened, but you're actually in the wrong room. I need to move you to another room. And yeah, I just got to get you on the side where we actually have Schneider students. And I was like, oh, dang. But I went ahead and packed up my stuff and moved to the new room. Now, there was still no one in there. It was only me. But she was just giving me the rules, giving me the expectations, kind of going through the process and saying that hey, if I have a roommate, it's probably better because then you got somebody to study with and all this other stuff. And honestly, yeah, I didn't, even the whole time I was there was no type of studying required. Um, and just to clarify on that part, Snyder, the training process at Snyder is not a test. Every day is not a test. And they're not looking for you to know everything and then just throw you out on the road. They're teaching you because they do get a lot of people that are new behind the wheel of a truck, and they possibly don't even know how to drive a 53-foot trailer. So they're not just going to throw you in there and say, hey, take a jab at it and then fail you if you do bad. They're teaching you. The only way you won't learn is if you ain't trying to learn. Just being honest. So I went through the process, and my process was pretty smooth, pretty easy. So she pretty much given me the rules and regulations of what to expect at the hotel, what's required, what's not required, just nearby restaurants, all that, just helpful stuff. And I sat in my room just waiting and chilling. She said if didn't nobody show up by a certain time, then you're going to have your own room. And to activate faith, I went in the room and I locked the door. I locked the door and I was like, I got my own room for a whole week. And no one showed up. Literally, nobody showed up at my door. So that was the first blessing that I received. Now, the second one was Schneider usually has anywhere between 5 and 20 students. It could be more than that, could be. Snyder usually have anywhere between 5 and 10 and 20 students. There was literally only me and one other guy. And they have a whole curriculum and whole like way of doing it. They have a certain amount of trainers that they have to have for this amount of people. And with it only being 2 guys, we kind of had the whole day to learn things. And when I thought about how I prayed and asked God to send me somewhere where they're going to teach me the fundamentals, just like God does, he presses stuff down, shakes it together, and allows it to run over. My experience was truly blessed because he gave me more than what I asked for. Instead of me having a good trainer, I had multiple good trainers because I was one of the few students there. Now, Monday went by, did some paperwork. Wasn't tough. It wasn't that much. It's understandable stuff. Watching videos and stuff, just getting me used to my new career. Next day came by, and kind of a little bit of the same thing, kind of class stuff slash yard stuff, showing you how to get in and out of a trailer and pre-trip and all that good stuff. Now, the second day, not to call nobody out and not to like bash anybody, but the other guy that I was with, he was late. He showed up about 12 minutes late, and once he got there, they kind of got on him about it. They got on him as if like this is not something we accept. This is not something we're okay with. You cannot be late. Don't let this happen again. Otherwise, we're gonna send you home. And he understood. He understood. He listened, and that was that. The next day, kind of did a little bit of the same thing. That's on this Wednesday. We kind of did a little bit of the same thing, a little classroom training and going outside. Only thing is, old dude didn't show up. He was running late again, so they didn't even allow him to come into the office. At that point, I was literally the only student for 2 weeks. They have a new class every week, but since my class overlapped with the new class, I was technically still the only student. So instead of getting a couple of minutes to drive and then I got to give the truck to somebody else and then they get a couple of minutes and then you get a truck to somebody else, I literally had the whole day to learn and to practice different maneuvers. We drove to like other parts of the city and learn how to back into a dock and all that other stuff, man. That my experience was truly a blessing, and I felt way more prepared than I feel like any other student had been prepared since they've been there. God bless me, Ed Snyder, because I came out here like I'm more than ready. I'm more than ready. And then I got my lovely wife, and I got my 2 kids at home. And this is a big adjustment because I've always been near my wife. I've always been with my kids. And now me being gone, me being over the road is a pretty big change. But God hears your prayers. So once I got through my 2 week period, second off, I'm not going to dwell on it that much either, but I prayed again for my second week for me to have a hotel room by myself, because they could have gotten a whole new class to come in, and that whole new class, somebody in that new class could have roommated with me. But hey, I got my hotel room again for the second week. So my prayer was answered. Thank the Lord. My prayer was answered. Now let's get around to completing training, going through all of that. They give you a nice little certificate. They take you through quite a few modules, and they kind of just prepare you to get ready to go with your TE and head out on the road. They give you one little final test before they give you to your TE so you can head out on the road. Now, I didn't know what to expect as far as where my TE was located, but this is where God came in again. My TE was located in the state that I live in, and he was actually 30 minutes away from my home, which was like, Lord, dang. Another thing, he was 30 minutes away from my home, and on top of that, I talk about my babies and my wife and how big of an adjustment this is. My TE was actually local too, so I got to go home every day. Man. For anybody out there that don't know if prayer works, it works. It definitely works. And if you're not too used to hearing about God, if you stay tuned on my channel, you're gonna hear a whole lot about him. You go to my TikTok, you'll hear a whole lot about him too. But I don't do anything in my life without asking God to lead me, because I don't know what I'm doing by myself. I've tried it before. There's been plenty moments where I'm trying to figure this life out, but I just don't know what I'm doing. So I give it to God. And as a result, God hears me and God is guiding me the way that he's supposed to, the way that he said. So I go through my training with my TE. I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and my day is over with at about 10, 11, and I got the whole day with my family. I did that for about a week, and then the training with the TE is just to get used to how to work the tablet, how to work on our work assignments, being on time, understanding appointments, understanding issues that might pop up, and honestly, like the final little check of seeing, like, do you know how to operate this truck? Because Snyder's just not gonna give you a truck just because you got a CDL. So I got through that process, and I learned a little bit about how, as a truck driver, you kind of got to be a little defensive, um, and that's an adjustment because people don't respect truck drivers no matter what we bring. We bringing y'all merchandise. We got TVs, we got dishwashers, we got cologne, we got perfume, we got lotion. We carrying everything you need, but people don't respect truck drivers. So you got to be cautious out here on this road. So that's basically what I was being taught. And that week went by. I made it through that process. I probably waited for about another week after that, and then they flew me to go get my truck. And Snyder don't have no problem buying you a plane ticket for anything. They flew me to go get my truck, and ever since then, I've been on the road. I've been working, and I feel well equipped for what I'm experiencing. I know hiccups are going to happen. I know problems are going to happen. Even when I'm planning my trip, I can plan my trip to the best of my ability and make sure I'm on time when I get here. Then when I leave here, I can go there. Then when I go here, I can leave here. But hey, stuff happens. I can get to my destination and my trailer ain't ready. I can get to my destination and they don't have an empty for me to pick up or something. But it's all in how you mentally adjust to it. And that's not just with Schneider, that's with trucking. So no matter what job you get, everything is not going to be smooth sailing. And as long as you're okay with that, it's not going to be that bad. Me, I love driving. I love driving. I'm an introvert. So you give me my time by myself, like I be in this truck driving and I don't have the radio on. I'm just thinking to myself, praying, looking out the window because the window is my TV. I'm a little country boy from Texas, so I ain't used to seeing all these mountains and rivers and valleys and all this other stuff. So this like watching TV to me. But I'm just at peace while I'm out here. And I'm not worried about being stuck off in traffic, because once you realize that this world is big and the only reason why traffic exists is because everybody likes to live on top of each other. Once you hit these interstates, it's just you and the road. You might have an occasional truck go around you, or you might have to go around the occasional truck, but it's just you and the road. Man, it's the most peaceful thing ever. So I know I didn't go too in depth on Schneider or any of their policies and stuff like that, but it's truly been a blessing to me. They got me a nice truck, pretty much clean and brand new, and I'm actually challenging myself. No disrespect to nobody, but I'm challenging myself to be that the very few truck drivers that eat right. Since I've been out here driving trucks, I have not, other than a breakfast sandwich, other than like a breakfast burrito, I have not been buying truck stop food. I ain't been buying no fast food. I've literally been like grocery shopping and putting that in my mini fridge, simply because I'm not too busy to take care of myself, and I'm very firm on that. My one of Snyder's terminals out in Phoenix has a like a weight room in it. Oh, I'm getting in there anytime I get the opportunity. And then I like roller skating too. So wherever I'm going, I'm looking for a skating rink so I can get my cardio in. So this opportunity is great. I'm going to continue to keep talking about the goodness of God. And yeah, If you got your CDL, you're looking to get your CDL, Snyder might be a good fit for you. If you okay with following rules. Now, it's true they don't want you using your phone while you're driving, and they have a very valid reason on why they don't want you using your phone while you're driving. So if you can get through that, this is not bad. It's not bad. So that's all I gotta say. I didn't mean for this video to be that long, but yeah, if y'all want me to make more content, I surely will. And just be aware, we're gonna talk about Jesus over here too. So yeah, peace.